This is my 1952 Frigidaire Unimatic washer. And for those of you who have never seen one of these before, this is probably one of the most unique washers you'll ever see in your life. This is a Frigidaire made only by General Motors, and it was built in around 1952, 1953. It's a very basic machine. It just has one knob. It has a switch for warm or hot wash. It has an overload reset switch, and then this little guy right here is the lid switch. So for this load, I'm going to do one of my weirdest loads of laundry yet. I bought a brand new in the box, or brand new sealed in the box, Tide soap from the 50s. So this is basically the box of Tide that would have came with this washer when it was new. And you know, you guys could see it's unopened. Somebody had said that there's no way that I could be using old soap because it would be caked up like a brick or something like that. And it's kind of chunky in there, but if you just massage the box, it kind of breaks it up pretty good. And these are not impossible to find, guys. You could buy these on eBay, and they're not very expensive. I think you could pick this box up for like 30 bucks or something. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. But this is a brand new unopened box, and I'm going to use the amount recommended by the washing machine, which is going to be a half a cup. And then I'm going to do a full load of my shirts. Guys, check out my description. I sell these shirts. They're pretty cool. Anyways, shameless plug. So I did kind of pack this load in. So this is what I would consider to be a slightly overloaded. I try not to push down on my clothes when I'm loading it, but I kind of want to put this washer through a little bit of a torture test and see what happens. My belief is that this vertical agitation is going to be so potent that it will still be able to turn over my clothes regardless of me overloading it. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit extra in there. Okay, that's properly overloaded. Now let's open this box of Tide. So as you can see, it's definitely chunky, but you could break it down pretty easy. There's no scent. There's no scent left in this. It's surely all dissipated. Okay, there's a half a cup. So old soap is very sudsy. And so this box calls for using a cup to a cup and a half of Tide, using somewhat more hard water if clothes are heavily or if clothes are heavily soiled. After a few washings, you'll be able to tell just how much Tide you need for your washing condition. Remember, Tide's full action suds are your best indication of the right amount of Tide. So this says a cup to a cup and a half. I think maybe I'll just split the difference. This, maybe a half a cup is not going to be fun enough. I'll put 3/4 of a cup. So this is like halfway between what this says and I guess what the lid of the washer recommends. Did you guys know that you could wash your dishes with old Tide? Tide for dishes. No wonder Tide is America's top favorite product for dishwashing. Tide gives such wonderful suds. No greasy water, no dishpan ring, no dulling film. Dishes and glasses dry sparkling clean even without wiping. And remember, no detergent, even those is made specially for dishwashing, is milder for the hands than Tide. Pretty interesting. And you can use this in front-loading washers, wringer washers. Although I will say the front-loading washers back in the day were much more different than the modern machines. So, whoops, geez. Well, I just put a little extra soap in here. Anyways, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm going to pull this one on full send. So I'm going 10 minutes, warm wash, and that's it. That's my only option. So here we go. So that was very impressive and disappointing at the same time. I really thought that I was going to have like a full mountain of suds coming from this, from my old soap. I did this test before on another old washer that I had, that not as old as this one, but from the 70s. And it created like a suds cake. It was pretty impressive. This washer doesn't seem to produce a lot of suds in general. I've tried it on a couple other soaps that I know create suds, and this one didn't do quite a bit. The real question is that how in 1952 we were able to produce a washing machine that spun at 1136 RPMs for a final spin speed, and yet somehow in 2020, if we have a washer that spins that fast, they tend to blow up. I don't know. Go figure. These clothes are very well spun, and they'll probably need about 30 minutes in the dryer to be completely dry. That might even be too long. It really blows my mind how it seems like as we progress with technology, like we take steps back in other places. Like, this is a perfectly good washer, and I know why they stopped making it. It certainly uses a lot of electricity. It probably uses more water than it should. But the main important thing is that this thing was probably incredibly expensive when it was new. You guys should look at some old ads for antique washing machines, like, you know, when they were new back in the 60s and 70s, and see how much they cost, and then put that price into one of those inflation calculators and see how much they were in today's dollars. A lot of these machines by today's dollars were thousands of dollars. Like, you know, they were, even the cheap washers were maybe $1,400 or $1,500 in today's money. And today you could go buy a brand new washer for practically $400. You know, a lot of people say, like, I wish they made them like they used to, but, you know, do you want to spend $1,500, $2,000 on a washing machine? I mean, if the answer is yes, then, you know, I agree with you. But if the answer is no, then, you know, they make these cheap washers because that is, generally speaking, what the public demands. Anyways, I was really impressed with the turnover of this machine. It really did a good job, despite the fact that I feel like I really overloaded this washer. Honestly, after I saw it go, I felt like I could put a little bit more in there, but I don't know. It's very impressive. The clothes smell wonderful. I mean, the Tide was basically unscented. There's really not like much for me to go by other than these clothes smelled pretty awful because they were in my laundry basket for a week. And now they smell like kind of like cotton. So I say that's a pretty good win for me. Did you know I also sell this shirt in gray? Oop, there's a sock. It supports the channel, guys. This soap is expensive. I paid like $35 for it on eBay. Anyways, this is my last load on this 52 Frigidaire. Unfortunately, this washer is leaking like a sieve, and I don't want to do another load on this machine. I have to do a restoration on this washer. After I'm done restoring it, and I will film the restoration of this washer, and then after I'm done restoring it, I'll probably do a few more loads in it just to make sure that everything's good. And then this washer will probably go up for sale. Guys, I don't really like hoarding these machines. I really like fixing them and I like filming them, but I don't really like keeping them around. I'd like other people to enjoy them as much as I do. That said, I also have a wife and 3 kids at home, so I have to justify this somehow. I have to make a living. So, but after I'm done restoring this machine, this washer will be about as perfect as it can be for a 70-year-old washer, and somebody else could enjoy it and, you know, just have some good fun with it. This is not a washer that I would recommend using on a daily basis. This is kind of like a, you know, have it in your laundry room as like the second washer, so to speak, and you could kind of just do some small loads once in a while and have some fun with this washer. It really brings a lot of joy back to laundry day. I couldn't imagine doing laundry in some boring front loader for the rest of my life. I mean, that sounds awful. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. Thanks for watching.